morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our listeners, wherever you are. This is your host, Suresh. We all know that education plays a very key role in everyone's life, and most of us actually take this for granted. But there are many kids who cannot even imagine going to school, let alone becoming graduates or pursuing higher studies or even going abroad. Today, we are very fortunate to have amidst us Sam Vonumu, the founder of Uplift a Child, an organization that is dedicated to nurturing the kids, especially orphans, through providing education, and that is good quality education. Sam, a very warm welcome to NRI Samay.
Thank you very much.
So, Sam, I was doing some research about Uplift Child, and I gathered that you currently have about 2,000 kids that you're supporting through your organization.
Yes, that is correct.
So this is an incredible achievement, Sam, to sort of take care of 2,000 children, and primarily they are orphans, if I understand correctly.
They're orphan children as well as children with single parents.
I see.
These are the two categories we are supporting. Because children with both the parents, at least they have both the parents to give them love. But for someone who lost a mother or father,
right.
It is so difficult for the surviving parent. So we like to step in and try to fill the gap of the lost one and create a new hope through the gift of education. Education, as you said, that is the best gift anyone can give. And that's what we truly believe, and that's what we are doing. So because of our teamwork, 2,000 children are going to school currently all over India.
Oh, okay. So these kids are, when you say all over India, what states is your organization present in?
Yeah, we have almost 27 locations all over Andhra Pradesh. And also we have in Jharkhand, West Bengal, Assam. And this year we started helping children in Nepal also.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. So that's quite interesting, right? So you have in Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, and you said you also started in Nepal.
Right.
So how do you go about expanding? Because do you have any ground team that you usually work with? Because we cannot control things from being in the U.S. So how do you go about expanding, and how do you go about increasing your reach in these different locations?
Yeah, first of all, I don't really believe in expansion, but I will surely explain you how it led us to expand. Originally, I started with Vizag because that's where I came from, and there I have a lot of friends and volunteers who are able to monitor all the activities. As we started growing, we started getting more and more sponsors from all parts of the country. So some of the sponsors called and asked me, Sam, right now you're helping in Vizag. Can you help in Vijayawada? And another sponsor, can you help in some other place? So we asked them, we don't like to start a new place unless we have trusted local volunteers. So I asked the sponsor, is it possible for you to take full ownership, maybe with help of your family members and close, trusted people? Maybe we can start with 20 children. That is how we started, with the help of new sponsors or existing sponsors who are very close and who knows our program. And also, the other way of increasing was I studied in a college where we have students from all over India in Bangalore. So I did intimate all my classmates who are well settled. I asked them, this is what I started recently, and I'm really looking for somebody who can locally monitor the children and help them. So from each location, wherever my friends are from, they started selecting 20 children, and that is how it started growing. So one thing led to other, and that is how this expansion happened, step by step. And again, let me tell you how we started in Nepal. I work at Discovery TV channel at the world headquarters. So once we had, not once, it is like last year, we had a Diwali program during which Discovery gave an opportunity for all the Discovery employees to exhibit whatever talents they have outside their job, and also invited all the local business people around Discovery Building at the World Headquarters. So we had somebody from a restaurant. He is actually the owner of a Nepali restaurant, and his stall was opposite to Uplift a Child stall. So he was watching us for a couple of hours. After the program is done, he came to me and said, what is Uplift a Child? I told them, we give a new hope to those who don't have hope, and we do that through a gift of education. He said he liked that very much. And he asked me, where do you help? I told them all the locations. Then he asked me, is this help only for Indians? I told him, not really. This is for anybody who meets our criteria, our guidelines, and we don't have any discrimination of language, state, or nationality or anything. Then he said, if you don't mind, can you help our people in Nepal? Then I asked him, if you're willing to take ownership of so many things to be done, I will give you like 20 checklists. If you can fulfill all those 20 checklists in 10 days' time, get back to me and we will discuss. So within a week, he got back to me. He did all his homework, and looking at his homework, I knew he wanted to do this from his heart. So I identified his heart and his desire, and without any selfishness, just like me and my team, he's another person. So I welcomed him wholeheartedly, and I told him, before we start the operations, I would like to visit your country, meet 50 children. Like I told him to identify 50 children. He identified them. I want to meet all the 50 children and their families. I want to meet all the local volunteers. I want to meet the school where these children are going to go. And I want to meet the people who will be like a board of directors or something. So I did go this year on January 22nd, completed all my checklists of getting reassurance of each and everything which was told by him. And that is how we started with 50 children. And our goal is to support at least 1,000 children in the next 3 years. And we also have the support of government of Nepal. We actually conducted a program in Washington, D.C. for Uplift a Child annual program. Ambassador of Nepal to the United States heard about what we are doing, and he came uninvited because he was very touched that we are helping children there, and we are helping in a very special way. He felt it, and he became a fan of us.
I see. That's very inspiring, Sam. Now, very often, I come across, orphan kids, and I might feel sympathetic towards them, and then I might donate some money for their education, and I leave it at that point. But what made you take this to a whole different level and sort of, start an organization for the orphans and the less fortunate kids, as I would like to call them? What was the trigger? Like, was it a particular incident in your life, or what was it that triggered you to sort of take this route?
Yes, I can say a particular incident, and that incident is nothing but my life. I am not a great person. I'm not a rich person. I come originally from slums of Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh in India. So somebody who is not known, an unknown person, supported me without even knowing whom I am, what my nationality is, or nothing. Straight away, that person started supporting me by sending $8 every month, which was more than enough to take care of my day school education. It was actually an American from the United States who helped me up to 12 years of education. If that person did not help me, I would have still been in the slums of Vizag. I would have been a gangster or a gunda. I would have, like my friends, I have at least some of my friends who do all those things to earn their living, but it is because of the sponsors' dedication and help. I got some education, and that education up to 10th standard is more than enough because by that time my mind was matured enough to start thinking, to start planning, and to do research on how I can come up in life. So it is my sponsor who made a difference in my life. And because of that, I got education. And education changed my life. I earned 2 bachelor's, 1 master's degree, and a degree from abroad. And here I am in the United States. I'm a citizen of U.S. I'm also an officer in the U.S. Navy. And I have many, many things to this. All this was possible because of one person's decision to support a child.
I see. That's very wonderful. It is almost like something that you normally see in the real life, not in the real life, that somebody getting, people do get this kind of help, but for someone to acknowledge it and then give it back to the society, I think that's where you are definitely different from, the rest of us, and, kudos to what you have been doing for almost the past 10 years.
Yes,
so did
Mr. Suresh.
Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
Yes, Mr. Suresh, that is absolutely right. I'm a living example of what a little help can do. And, yeah.
Right. So did you ever try to find out who that person was, or did you try to get in touch with that person?
Yes, I did. While I was in India itself, after I changed my economical status from slum dweller to a normal citizen in India, I started doing some research to find out who my sponsor was. I got the sponsor's name, but not the full name. So I was told that the headquarters is in Bangalore, so I went to the Bangalore office. By the time when I went to the Bangalore office, they said, it is more than 20 years. We keep the records only for 20 years, and after that we delete them. That's what they told me. Then after I came to U.S., I went to the world headquarters of that organization, and they said, yeah, that is correct. After 20 years, we don't have any records. So they were very happy for my story, but they could not provide me. I was very disappointed. That is one thing in life I did not achieve. I achieved, I can say, almost everything, whatever I wanted in life. But only one thing in life was unfulfilled, that is to meet my sponsor. All I want to do is just hold my sponsor, hug her, and touch her feet and tell her, thank you so much. Whatever I am, it is because of you. Even if she is no more, I wanted to meet her children or grandchildren, wanted to let them know what that mother has done for me.
Right. That is definitely an incredible story, Sam. And, I don't know, hopefully, you keep trying. We hope that you can at least meet her family. And, right. Now, what you said here is something, very interesting. So do you make a conscious effort when you sort of, go and, let's say you start this, you support these kids, how do you sort of make sure that they also sort of acknowledge that they are being helped, and when the time comes, they should also try and give back to the society? So is this something that always is in the back of your mind? And if so, how do you try and sort of nurture this or give this sort of insight for the kids?
Yes, we do have a very beautiful program planned. Like all the sponsors, they write a check to pay for the child's expenses, educational expenses. Our volunteer coordinate everything between our administration and the child goes to school. We have several volunteers locally at every location. We do have monthly parents meeting during which our volunteers will check the records of the children and to see how they're doing. If they're not doing well, they will identify where the deficiency is and try to connect to maybe a college student to come and give some tuition to help them on wherever they're lacking. So we do have like a mandatory monthly parents meeting. And also, they always start the program very positively, and they do tell the parent and the child, the help they're receiving is actually from an individual, either from India or abroad. They're not rich, but they're working so hard so that you can go to school. So you should always remember that. That is how they always start our program. And annually, once a year, I go and visit at least 90% of these children. During my visit, we conduct something called annual children programs in India, during which we have like hundreds and thousands of people coming for the program. Surely the child's parent, and we also invite a lot of local business people and leaders and other people. During the program, we generally award and reward the child who has done exceptionally well the previous academic year. And our children are studying in English medium schools all over, and they're competing with rich children. So our children to get first, second, and third is really great for us. So we invite those children who got first, second, and third to the stage and give them a cash award and a certificate. We pay them like 1,000 rupees for first rank, 750 for second rank, and 500 rupees for third rank. And again, that award is sponsored by another foundation called Vonumu Foundation, who is part of our sponsors. By doing this, the children who did not do well, they are encouraged to do well. And many of the children, they even come and ask me, "Sir, if I get for second and third, will you give me the prize?" I say, "Yes, certainly." So it is a great incentive. So this is one program to uplift them. We also have one more incentive program, that is Backward Progressive Development Award. That means if a child got 40th rank this year, and next year if the same child got 35th rank, that means they progressed 5 ranks ahead. So we give them like $250 rupees cash award and a certificate sponsored by another sponsor. So that way, even children from backward will be pushing forward. And again, Vonumu Foundation for second and third. So these 2 awards are really, really bringing those children to move forward. And since past 13 years we are doing this, we can see the graph which is climbing up, and up. So last year we had, like in 2011, we had almost 190 children got ranks. And 2012, we got almost 290 children got ranks among the 1,500 supported in 2012. So 2013, I'm expecting it will go to 350 children who will be getting first, second, and third. So there is great progress in this kind of program. And we are, during all this process, the child is inspired. And in the child's mind, it is going through, a clear message is going through that they should do something. We don't tell them that they should, but without telling them, with our actions, they themselves are saying that. In fact, some people, once one of the chief guests asked the children during a program, "What do you want to become?" One person said, "Want to become a police officer." Another child said, "Want to become a doctor." But the third child said, "Want to become like Sam, sir."
That's really inspiring.
It is wonderful. So, and again, another person on the stage asks, "What do you mean, Sam, sir?" Then that child elaborated. "When I make some money, I like to give as much as possible to those who did not have," from a child's mouth. So these are the things without even telling, it is generating from the children's mind.
Right. That's really remarkable. I think this is the change that we want to see in the kids, like carry forward this sort of a culture that you're sort of building using your own life as an example. This is incredible, Sam.
Thank you, Mr. Suresh.
Now, there might be also some practical challenges also, right? Because the kids that you are dealing with might have had, like you said, might have had some single parents all along, and they are probably living in not so healthy conditions. So for them to get used to now a daily routine where they go to the school and they have to sit along with other kids, don't you have practical problems as in, the kids dropping out of the school or causing maybe more trouble at the school than because they're just not used to this routine. So how do you go about dealing with these? Actually, do you even have this kind of scenarios? And if you do have them, how do you deal with them?
Actually, this was not a challenge for us. Why? Because we generally identify children at a very younger stages. We don't really take children from higher grades. We do maybe 1%, but 99% we try to take children from like UKG, LKG, first or second grades. So
I see.
We identify them. The best part is, especially in India, every school has school uniform, and we provide the children with 3 pairs of school uniform, 2 pairs of shoes, 6 pairs of socks. By wearing all of this, they look equal to the rich parent's child. Rich parent's child also wear the same color uniform, same shoes, same socks. So they will not even know that our child is from a poor background. So that is one of the best things. But same thing if it is in America, they don't have proper uniform. Easily you can identify who is rich, who is poor. And also we do tell our parents to make sure, before the child goes to school, to shine the shoes, to make sure all the buttons are there, to make sure the tie is put properly. And also we tell them, this child is our pride, and our child should look neat and to the best of their ability. And the parents like what we tell them, and they also, any parent will be very happy and proud to have their child in the best, well-dressed manner. So we really never face any kind of challenge like that.
I see. That's wonderful. So it's interesting that that's a conscious effort that you and your team make, that you take in the kids at a very young age.
Yes, that way it's easy for us to make our plan work.
Right.
If we take from higher grades, it will be very difficult, and we don't have that much money to make that much adjustment. There are many other organizations who are helping in different ways, but we are specialized in one thing and one thing alone, and we are able to reap great success through what we are doing.
I see. So if I understand correctly, you are going to take care of the education of this kid up until the 12 years of education, that is 10 plus 2, right? No, it is 12 years of education. It is UKG, LKG plus 10 years. I see. Okay. The system of education is first standard to 10th standard, that is like 10 years. And upper KG is upper kindergarten, LKG is lower kindergarten before the first standard. So that is 12 years of education. I see. Now, what happens to the kids after they finish their 10th grade? Like, do they look forward to some help from your organization, or at that point they are independent and they, are educated enough to find their own path from that point onwards? Before even this child reached 10th standard, every year since the time we taken them, we tell the parent to make a promise to us. That is, the parent must deposit 100 rupees in the name of the child in a bank. So every child has a bank account already. That is a requirement when we enroll the children into our program.
So every parent must get a bank account, and they must have a passbook, and every month they must deposit 100 rupees, because we are taking care of 100% expenses of school education. So they're really not paying anything. So instead of paying us, they can just deposit 100 rupees in the child's name. So in a span of 12 years, that is enough money for intermediate education, which is +1 and +2. So that takes care of it. That is one point. And the second point is we also encourage our children to do well, and if they get 85% and above, we will help them automatically for 11th and 12th.
I see.
So whatever money they save, that will become their savings. Because of their merit, they will be rewarded, and we will take care of their intermediate first and second year.
I see. Got it. So do you work closely with other organizations also to help with that transition?
If any organization contacts us, I surely don't mind helping them, because I do believe that we must help one another. I already have a successful model of helping children. I surely like to know how they are doing and what is the percentage of results. And based on that, if they need help, I will surely help with my time and talent. And if there is something better in their organization, then surely I will try to implement that in our organization. The basic objective is make a difference for those who cannot help themselves.
I see. Okay. Now, Sam, before we end, I'd like to also, for the benefit of our listeners, like to ask you, if an individual wants to sponsor a kid, how can he go about, or how can he or she go about doing this? Do they come to your website, and then how do you facilitate the sponsor to the child relationship? And how much does it cost per year? Can you please provide some insight into that?
Yes, it costs actually like $450 to support one child per year. But I always negotiate with the local schools, English medium schools, tell them about whom I am, what I am, how somebody helped me, and how we started this organization, and how many people are working hard to help these children. So I request them not to take any profit from us, and to give us as much discount as possible so that we can help more children. So that $450+ has reduced to $125. So it costs only $125 to support a child for the full year. And that $125 includes full year tuition fees, 3 pairs of uniform, 2 pairs of shoes, 6 pairs of socks, textbooks, notebooks, shoe, belt, and tie. All of this for a day school education. $125 from LKG to 4th standard. And from 5th standard to 10th standard, it is $50 extra, which will be $175 from 5th standard to 10th standard. And there are some schools where we provide midday meals, because children are agricultural, coolish children. So whenever they send lunch, by the time it is lunchtime, the lunch is already spoiled. After noticing those kind of scenarios, I started this midday meal program, and that will be a $50 extra for whichever school is doing a midday meal for the child. So basically $125 or $175. And if they like to support for a midday meal, it will be like $50 only at a specific schools. And if someone wants to become a part of this organization and support a child, they can go to www.upliftachild.org. Upliftachild.org, and you can see the pictures of the children. Click on that. You will see all the children who are currently waiting for help. You will find the full biodata of the child, the date of birth, where they are from, how they have become less fortunate, and how much it costs to help them. So once they identify which children they like to support, on the left menu from the home page, they can click on Become a Sponsor and complete that form. Once they complete that form along with the children's names, one of our representatives will get back to them and update them with the child's details. Not only that, we also update the sponsor 4 times a year. As soon as the school admission is completed in the month of June, by July or August, we take pictures of the children with the full school uniform, new uniform, and send those pictures to the sponsor. And also after the quarterly exams, we send the quarterly progress report. After half-yearly exam, we send the half-yearly progress report. End of the year, we send final exam progress report. I also send the annual summary to all the sponsors on how each and everything is going on at different locations. I also conduct annual sponsors meetings in the U.S. In Washington, D.C. area, we have half of our sponsors in D.C., Virginia, and like 5-6 states. So all the sponsors come here to the Discovery World Headquarters venue. There I give a presentation for 1 hour, updating them on how the children are doing, success stories, sad stories, good, bad, anything, and also time for questions and answers. And we always conclude our program with a nice meal to get to know one another. Same way, we have another program in New Jersey where all New Jersey and surrounding states gather. The same way, we have another one in Seattle, and we have one in Ukraine. Like this, we have 5-6 centers where we have sponsors programs, so that sponsors will get to meet together, and they can also suggest on any improvement they would like to do. And we also encourage our sponsors to visit their children at any time, either at their home or at the school in India during their visit to India. Or if they have local relatives, they are welcome to meet the child anytime. We follow an open book type of transactions. You will get an answer for any question you ask. So I'd like to welcome whoever is interested, and surely you can prepare more SAMs with the little help, as I cannot forget my sponsor till today. And, personally I'm supporting around 70 children with myself and my wife together, supporting 70 children with my own salary, and the remaining 1,930 children are being supported by 475 sponsors from 12 different countries.
Very impressive, Sam. Very, very impressive. And we hope, the mission that you have set for yourselves, that is to build more SAMs, to create more SAMs, and also to provide quality education for kids who otherwise would, as you said earlier, would end up, taking some illegal steps or doing some odd things which otherwise they would have not. So we sincerely hope you accomplish your mission, and we hope our listeners who are listening to the show will definitely go to upliftachild.org and see for themselves the incredible work Sam and his team have been doing for the past 13 years. So from 4 students in 2000, they grew to about 2,000 students in 2013. So that's a great testimony in itself. So
I would like to add one more thing.
Sure, Sam.
Yes, after once somebody enrolls to become a sponsor, and after our office contacts them and provide everything, that particular in that week, Sunday, generally I myself make a personal phone call to talk to the sponsor and to get to know the sponsor and welcome them. So they will surely get a phone call from me wherever they are on this globe.
All right. Thank you, Sam. So friends, for friends, whoever is listening to, please do visit upliftachild.org, and you can help a dream come true for a kid for just $125 a year. And if you like to also sponsor the midday meal program. If the school supports it, then it's just $175 a year. So thank you, Sam, for your time, and thank you for being on the show today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Suresh. It's been a privilege for me to get to know and to witness about how a little help could do. And I'm a living example of somebody's help. And thank you so much, and God bless all of you.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you very much.